Good afternoon. Welcome to the tea table. I am so happy you have joined me today. Oh, it is the coldest, blowy, gray day, January. And a dear friend sent me the most wonderful tea picture with pink roses and a beautiful cup, and it inspired me, and I thought, today it's January, we've all cleared, most of us have cleared all our Christmas out, all the red and green, blue and gold, purple, and we're ready for something soft. And here are the pink roses that she inspired me by sending me that picture. And on her tea picture that she sent me was the most beautiful china cup and silver, and I chose this one. I chose this one for me for today, and then I found this darling cup that is so sweet, and I chose this one. Whoa, how did it got stuck on the tea? Let's see what I can do here. Here is the saucer. It's pink. And the little cup. It's just so beautiful the way it stands. It's like a pedestal cup. And so this is for you, giving you the special cup. And well, this one is special too. So I'm having the pink and you're having the pink. So let's pour out. I'm pouring for you first out of this lovely silver pot. And I have chosen a very special kind of a January tea. Let's put that there. There we go. I have another lovely rose here, so, and we will I'll put a splash of milk in your tea. Okay, now this is for you, and I'm going to set it right on the tea tray so you can see it. And I will have my cup. There's nothing like a pink rose. And January is a lovely time for a pink rose. Whoa, I don't know why it's a little bit tight on my tea cart today. And I'm going to put that down gently. Move that forward so you can keep your eye on your cup. And I will have a little splash of milk. And I have to show you in one. Let me take a taste first, okay? Oh my goodness, that is fabulous tea. Oh, let me show you what it is. I found this tin. You know, I think it was intended as a gift. I was going to give it to my friend for a gift, and it kind of got stuck upstairs, and I forgot about it, and it says Harney & Sons Victorian London Fog Tea, and it comes in these lovely silk bags. You know, they're just really high-end, and it has, you know, it's London Fog. It's perfect for today. Now, my daughter went to a college, Midwest in Iowa, Luther College, and at their coffee stand, they had this, but they called it Moscow Fog. And I think it's an Earl Grey with a little vanilla. It was so popular there. This is Midwest Scandinavian They called Decorah, Iowa, Little Norway. And this tea was as popular as the coffee. That's a fact. In fact, in that town of Decorah, it's a darling little Midwest Iowa town, is a museum. It's called the Vesterheim Museum. It's the largest ethnic museum in North America. And it is 4 floors of the Scandinavian heritage, because that was all Norwegian farmers that came actually in the mid-1800s. And they ended up founding a school called Luther Seminary to train ministers. That was in 1865. And then it grew into a college, and now it's a university. And out of that came this wonderful museum. And some of you may have a calendar that you order every year called Vesterheim. Vester in Norwegian means west. Heim means home. So it's the Western home. And actually the King of Norway often comes to Decorah for their Norwegian Day celebration. And the ladies wear the costumes, and the museum is fabulous. Incredible museum. They have a Viking ship in the basement. They have a wonderful display of the World War II. I don't know if you would remember hearing, but in World War II, Norway was occupied by Germany, by the Nazis. And so we wanted to get in there to do espionage because Hitler wanted the water. It's called heavy water in northern Norway. And it was the one place it was, and it was very important. And so we needed to have people that could speak Norwegian. Well, these farm boys, they never thought anything of the fact that they could speak Norwegian and English. So they were taken into the American Army, and they were all given these white suits from head to toe, a little American flag and a little Norwegian flag on the arm. It's really, really interesting. And they went by skis, did underground espionage work in Norway during the war. And one thing that I read a story years ago when I was very young, and it's a true story, that the Norwegians wanted to get their gold out of where they kept it because they didn't want the Nazis to get it. And they were very clever. They had a whole collection of children that no one would suspect, put them on skis with a little pack on their back, and they skied to the place they hid it in a cave, and no one discovered them. And one of the real keys to winning the war in Norway was there were these old postal roads that were never on a map. They were just known by the people. Because if you went back 150 years, there was no train in Norway. Mostly it was boat up and down the fjords. But then how did you move when you got to land? Well, you would have a cart and a goat or a cart and a horse-drawn. So you had to have a road. So the post would go up, that would be called the mail, up on these roads winding through, and they used those as secret passageways. And there's incredible stories of courage and valor that happened during World War II. And I met a fascinating woman named Astrid. Cannot remember her last name. She wrote several books about this. She was a Norwegian lady, and I met her through a mutual friend who had baked one of those kransekake. I don't know if you've seen the Norwegian cakes. They're like rings, and they go on top of each other. It looks like a little castle, and then they put flags in. And I had one at my wedding, and We had one at our 25th wedding anniversary, and they're very special. They're made almost totally of almond flour, almond paste, and they are just delicious. Well, my friend asked me if I could drop off the kranzakaga dish to this lady because my friend bakes them. Jeannie Chaffee bakes these. They're very involved. And this lady, Astrid, lives here but wanted to take one to her daughter's wedding. So they put all the rings in Tupperware, took it down to, I think it was Utah, and got it to the wedding. So I got to meet this special lady named Astrid, and I got to go to her home. Come to find out, she lived just a few miles from me, and she was very involved in the Sons of Norway and the Daughters of Norway, and she invited me to come. But she was in the midst of moving at that point, so I didn't get to go with her. But we talked, and she told me several stories. And she told me she was a little girl in Norway. She grew up until she was 12. She was there during World War II when the bombing. I did not realize that they had bombing every day in Oslo. And she said they'd go to the bomb shelter and they were so afraid. But her father was so reassuring. He said, don't worry, we're going to get out of this. And when we do, we're going to get on a boat and go far across the ocean to a wonderful country called America, where we will be safe. You know, everyone wanted to get to America, right? So she was raised with a love for this country. And she still had it when I met her. She was very patriotic. And her house was so beautiful. She had so many Norwegian paintings on her wall, and all the design and the folklore. And she had a huge dining room, a large table filled with Scandinavian creativity. Well, she told me that she wanted to write a book about World War II. So she mortgaged her home and started taking flights back to Norway, researching, and she wrote an incredible story about a famous man who actually somehow flew in and parachuted in. And then the story was so amazing, she sold it to the History Channel. Now, at that point, they hadn't made a documentary yet. But I'm sure if you look up Norwegian and Astrid, Washington State, you can find her. Well, what happened was she fell in love with her old country, Norway, going back, and all the Christmas specialties. And so just for fun, she did a documentary on her own called Christmas in Norway. And that's what I had seen. My friend had it, and many people were watching that all the time. In the 1990s, it was just so fascinating. And she had showed all the cookie baking and Lucia Bride and the costumes, the dancing, and the traditions. So this fun little side thing she did actually made her famous. And then her books were published, and I think she wrote a children's book, The Little House in the Brown Wood, The Little Brown House in the Woods. Boy, it's coming back to me. I need to research this further, but I was thinking about her so much today because she had taken this opportunity that she had and wanted to pass on to others what she discovered. And that is really what life is made of, isn't it? Everything starts, and when she met me, I was telling her about my father. And my father was a wonderful Norwegian gentleman who came as a young boy at the age of 10 in 1923 on the boat with his family, and came to America, came to Washington State, lived in Tacoma. And I grew up around all these immigrants with accents, and all the cookies and the treats, and oh my goodness, everything is butter and sugar and butter and sugar and sugar and butter and flour and almond, and then almond and butter and sugar and butter. But the creations are endless. And they also have something called lefse, which is very special, kind of looks like a tortilla. And I kind of think maybe they got it from the Vikings going down to Spain and finding, they discovered the cardamom spice, and the Scandinavians use it like it's their very own. They claim it. Cardamom is in everything. Well, the thing that's so interesting to me today that I really want to share with you is the fact that we have a story. You have a story. I have a story. And when I was talking to this lady, she said to me, "You have a book in you." And I said, "Really?" And she said, "Yes." And I said, "I know, I need to write my book. I do have a book in me. I have many books in me." And she said, "I'll tell you how you do it." She said, "You have to sit down every morning at your typewriter or your computer, and you have an hour, and you say, 'I don't care what I feel like, if there's inspiration or not, you just make yourself write.' And if you don't have anything to say, you say, 'The sky is beautiful,' and you start writing." And she said, out of that a flow comes, and out of that her books came. That was her method. And I thought that was very interesting, that we all have dreams and visions and ideas, but it's taking the idea and not losing it and taking it to the next step, and then the next step, and then the next step, and then completing. Yes, I was a bluebird when I was a little girl, and one of the things we learned was we always complete our tasks. Wow, that's a big one. And we all know that we don't always do that, but we try to do it. We strive for it. We have to have a goal to do that. And doesn't it feel good when we complete our tasks? Yes, it does. And there is a reward in it. There is a reward. I want to show you this beautiful tea tray. And this is a pink rose here, and then I have a little bouquet of pink roses with the silver and the beautiful pink cup. I just love the fact that my friend sent me that today. I just needed that. After getting all the Christmas put away, I wanted soft colors. Now, for the little treat, yes, we can't forget the treat. Everyone's trying to cut down on their eating in January after Christmas, right? But we have to have a little something with our tea. So what are we going to have? I chose a little Scandinavian ginger cookie. They are so flat, but so flavorful. And you can actually have like 10 of these, I think, for 100 calories. So if you just have 1 or 2 or 3 with tea, that isn't so bad, is it? And I put them in a little silver basket. And I just think that there's always a way, and if you're trying to not eat too much, then have a lot of tea and a little tiny treat. Now I'm going to pour myself just a little more tea here. I am enjoying this tea. And actually, whoa, the friend I think I was going to send that to, ironically, Debbie, my dear college roommate, we're still friends, we're still connected. She's in Bellingham and I'm in Olympia, so people that live here know the I-5 corridors between us makes it very difficult to see people in person. But we stay in touch. But this special tea I had gotten for her. So Debbie, I think I'm gonna still send it to you, even though I opened it for the tea table, because she sent me that beautiful picture today. And isn't it fun how creative our phones are? That we can find a beautiful picture and inspire. I have another dear friend, Patricia, who sends me the fabulous pictures. Oh my goodness. Tea at the Ritz in Paris. You feel like you're there. It's fun to pass on a happy thought. When you think of a friend and you can't see them, send them a little picture on the text. Oh my goodness, this tea is so good. Well, I want to show you this vase I put the flowers in. It's actually a Russian vase. It looks Italian, but it's got these, it has roses on it. Do you see that? It has pink roses in China, kind of silvery gray. I felt it just as perfect for January. And I'm sitting in my corner here, and I have a fur on because it's so cold, and I have a hat that has fur. I don't know if you can see it. It's a fun hat with pearls. Now, my teapot is pretty big here, but I'll show you. I have a sweater on that is all pearls and diamonds on the sweater, and the sweater is so cozy. But I just put the little velvet fur piece around, and now I'm just perfect. I feel so cozy. What a difference warm layer clothing makes, doesn't it? Truly. And I love this is a little silver vase that just holds one rose, which is nice. And that can go right on the tray. If you were bringing someone tea for morning in bed, breakfast in bed or tea in bed, to awaken them, always put a flower on. And then I put a little candle here. I can't really see it, but I'll hold it up. When we have such gray weather, it's nice to have a little candle. Just a little candle burning here. And it's just giving a little bit of light. Wow, there is a reward to completing things. I was laughing because one of the rewards for putting Christmas away, when you get everything put away, suddenly your house feels like it grew. You have so much more room. We don't realize what the tree takes up. I put greens above my windows, which are nice. And I have another little tree in my other room, and then one other little kind of tree and something on my tea cart. But once you get it all down, it's like fresh and clean. Yes, and it's nice. And that's a big job. But actually, I'm discovering taking it down is much easier than putting it up. It's kind of like when you move to a house, packing, I think, is much harder than unpacking. Because once you've packed, it's basically organized and ready for different places. But so it wasn't so bad taking my Christmas down, I felt. And I had to do it all by myself this time. So it worked. And I'm just very happy now that I'm done. And I enjoyed Christmas thoroughly. But now we're ready for a new year. And even looking ahead in a month, wow, in 2 months, we will have spring coming, and that's amazing, isn't it? Well, the music we're playing today is Corelli, and he is an Italian composer before Johann Sebastian Bach. He's with, Pachelbel's canon. He's in there. He's those Italian wonderful composers right before Bach. And you can hear that Bach was influenced by them. Vivaldi, Corelli, and Pachelbel, all Italian composers. Beautiful. I love all of it, and I need it, and we all need it. And it's a rich classical feeling that enters your heart and your home when you play good music. And there's something about Corelli. He's so orderly, but very relaxed. I feel so peaceful when I play his music. So if you haven't played, his music, you find it on YouTube, you find it on Apple Music. I have Apple Music, and that's really, really been fun. And I think that what we need to do is continue our journey of reading a good book for January and making our list and sticking with it and rejoicing in small accomplishments. Even if we don't get the whole thing done we want, be grateful for the little accomplishments and reward yourself with a cup of tea when you finish a task. And invite a friend in and send a good word and encourage one another. I've had a really big week, actually, and I'm looking forward to another big week. So I'm taking it one step at a time, and I'm determined to stay in peace and enjoy each step of the journey. Yes. I'm teaching a class, and actually I'm teaching 2 classes, and I thought it was just one class, and then I found out I'm teaching 2 classes, and so I am learning to pace myself and have joy in the journey, because all teaching is just passing on information that we have learned to enrich someone else. So I hope that you are stepping out and doing new things for the new year. And I appreciate your comments so much. Please, if you like, make comments, and we will next time refer to some of them, because they are very uplifting and edifying. And I want you to know I appreciate every one of you. You are the reason this is happening, this Tea Talk. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Push the notification bell and you'll be notified. The share button, send it on to someone you think would enjoy. And the like button if you've enjoyed, and the comments. And we're all doing this together. I appreciate each one of you more than you know. So I pray you all have a beautiful week. And I know some of you quite well. I know you're writers. I know you want to write more. And I know you would like to write your book. So I think what I'm encouraging for 2023, take out your pen or your computer or your laptop, or I'll tell you one way I have been able to write. I speak into my phone, into an email. Then it goes to my computer, and my husband helps me because I'm not high tech. He helps me get situated on it, and I edit it. And that has been a really wonderful way for me to write a lot of my writings. So you speak it into your phone, on an email, and correct as much as you want on the email. But then you send it to your computer, and then you can really correct it and edit it. And the rest is history. It's done. And whether it's just for your own children or for yourself or for friends, or you really truly want to publish, well, then you're on the road, right? Yes, you're on the road. And that is what we want to be this year. We don't want to waste any more time just talking about it. We want to actually do it. So I'm going to have my tea, and I hope you're having yours. Have the most wonderful week. We still are in January. A lot can be done in the first month. Okay. Well, I will look forward to seeing you next time. And please, as I said, check the channel out. And for you that have just come on the Tea Talk and are new members and new people, you can go back to the YouTube channel. All of the Tea Talks are there. And I've had young people tell me lately they've been watching all the old ones and they've really enjoyed them. That makes me so happy. I am so thrilled with that. So God bless, and I will look forward to seeing you next time.